Greetings racers, Cook here. I just going into the part 2 of the throttle body swap out. On the right hand side is the factory with the sensors and everything still intact. Torx screws to remove from that. Here we have the F&B 70mm throttle body. Allen screws, 3 larger ones to attach it to the throttle body, or the throttle body, the intake I should say, of the truck. Cook's losing his mind. Of the intake of the truck, and 3 to put the sensors on the side. Again, all Allen configuration, right? So in the back you'll see back there is a coupling. It's burst proof that they sent with the throttle body. As you can see by the ridges on the side of the throttle body, when it's been a billeted piece, we'll zoom in on those. See the ridges on the side? Because it's billeted, it's made for putting on boost applications or higher intake pressure applications, chargers or turbochargers, whatever you want to slam in there. And with the burst proof coupling, Volrath makes those. I'm not sure if the color is for diameter or if the color goes with the amount of pound of boost that you're going to apply to it, but they do come in different couplings. Colors, I should say, for the coupling. This one happens to be blue. In the back corner there, you will see the throttle body spacer that the Cook had bought. Like I say, originally when I bought the truck new, I didn't know any better. You know, I put a bit of money out there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just not saying that it's perfect technology yet. The backside has an O-ring that matches up with the factory, and this has none. But you'll notice that the intake, of course, has the same configuration of a O-ring. So this one flushes on this, and this flushes on the one that's mounted on the intake. So there's that. Again, because of the thickness of the intake, they had spacers put on for the connector or coupler or the holder or the hold down, for the inside one being the throttle linkage for the or the kick down, I should say, for the tranny, and the other one on the outside being the throttle linkage. So yeah, it came in the kit with it, and 3 longer bolts to attach it. So now what I'll do is I'll back this off a bit so we can see everything, and tilt it down a bit. Got to keep the YouTubes down to 10 minutes or less because you don't get them on there, eh? If they run too long. So anyway, I've taken the time to loosen off the Torx screws, one holding the IAC in, and the other 2 holding the DQS. 1 and 2. Pop that off, put the screws back on. We don't want to ever be looking for screws. We don't want to be dropping screws in the engine. We don't want to be losing anything that's original. It just isn't good to have that happen. So okay, TPS, I think I'm gonna pop this out. It's a little bit of a pull, again because of the O-ring for sealing. So we'll screw that in. And there you have it. So Torx and all the screws back into the factory. Now what we'll do is we'll take the time to put this all into the F&B. Again, factory, original with the truck. This is bored out to the dimensions that are required, so everything matches up. So you know, you're not looking for any harnesses or anything. All the factory sensors and everything just comes off of one and gets crammed onto the other. So pucker that O-ring in, and taking the shortest screw, Allen screw. It's just like the factory. It's the shorter one here. That it starts threading itself. Get it down so it's finger tight. Right? Okay, just like on the factory, the top facing up. Right? Upward. So you want the connection for the sensor up near the vacuum. Okay? No brainer. Take things apart the way you put them together and vice versa. And always put the screws back in where you can find stuff, or get a magnetic tray. We have Canadian Tire up here. Yay, Canadian Tire. With those groovy magnetic pans that hold your sockets and the screws you take off and stuff like that. And they magnetize, of course, to the edge of your engine bay. So there you go, put into place. I don't look for the foot-pounds or the factory specs. I just, right? We don't want to freaking torque them down so hard that we break the plastic or wind up looking for another sensor. I don't feel like paying. Up here in Canada, probably for a sensor like that, 130 bucks, seriously. Down in the States, I think you guys were saying something like you could pick them up for 30, 35, TPS for 30 bucks or something. I don't know, one of you guys had a problem with your TPS. I don't know if it was AZ Red or Little or what are you guys, but anyway, yeah, they can be a pain. So anyway, we're going to go outside. We're going to get the cold air intake cranked onto this. We're going to get this, of course, first put onto the engine. Then we'll hook up the cables, get them ready, and we'll go from there. So hopefully everything's going good. You like that? And stay tuned. The cook's going to do a bit more. All right? Later.